So referee John Keane then, giving them the usual rundown. And remember, if it does go the full distance of the 12 rounds, there are no judges for this one, so he's the sole arbiter. Still got some old-fashioned things. There aren't judges in British title fights either. So as Jim Watt was saying earlier, it's on paper it certainly looks a 50-50 match, this one. And I did say that Starie was actually from Bury St Edmunds. He's always billed as that in title, but no, it's announced as Pakenham, so we get that one right. So we've got Clinton Woods unbeaten in 19, Scott 9. Starie lost 1 of 16, and Scott got KO'd 11. Both well-taught amateurs with good records. Starie won the English ABAs. I haven't seen too much of Clinton Woods, Jim, actually. I've missed him a bit. Have you seen something of him?
He's been the quiet man, no, Reggie. He's been the quiet man, but always doing the job properly. Always in perfect shape, a true professional. This is going to be a totally different fight from the one he had winning the title. Starie, much more of a boxer, much more flamboyant, did a real good idea of the game, very talented. So I think probably Woods is going to even have to improve on his previous performance to hang on to the title tonight. But they say winning a title makes a fighter a better fighter, so we'll see if that's the case.
Starie got that sort of tattooed armband there. Almost like a bracelet on the arm there, isn't it? Both, well, the old typical English, as we used to say, stand-up type boxers, Jim, aren't they? It goes for you Scots too, of course.
Yeah, well, this is the start they would expect. They're two thinking boxers. They don't normally do anything silly. Although I felt when Starie lost his unbeaten, Starie lost his unbeaten record against Dean Francis, he seemed to be too busy trying to look fancy, not really concentrating on the job, run into trouble a couple of times. But I'm sure his concentration will be right tonight. He's learned from that mistake.
It's always difficult in this business and dangerous to believe your own publicity.
You know, it's a fair pace, Reg. I mean, they're not flying at each other, but they haven't stopped punching since the first bell.
Yeah, they're all standing in range, which is good.
Yeah, but no clinching so far.
Tried to show a right hand there, Starie, but he didn't let it go. Well, there's the early statistic, just a slight advantage there by Starie. Meanwhile, let's have another look in replay then, Jim.
Yeah, that was just the first round you'd expect. Tight boxing, good jabbing from both guys. Nothing much to split them between the two. But warming up nicely. Both guys, as you were saying, staying in punching range all the way through. Good punches thrown and landed. This looks like being a tight one.
All calm and collected actually in both corners, obviously, after only one round. So a little sort of scouting exercise gone on there. Second round then, 12-stone division. Sheffield and Suffolk. So they're carrying that sort of decent style, almost textbook we could call it, I suppose, from their amateur training. Howard Rainey used to box at the London Fitzroy Lodge Club, and probably under a trick or two from his trainer, Freddie Hill. They went on to handle champions. And Gordon Holmes, the manager of Starie, has been around a long time. He knows what it's all about as well. He's had one fight since he was beaten by Dean Francis, by the way, Jim. David Starie. He won against somebody called Enzo Giordano.
Yeah, well, they're both, as you were saying, typical stand-up English-type boxers, but they're nice and relaxed. They're not tense, not forcing anything. It hasn't quite warmed up yet. It's early days. So plenty of punches, but no real venom is shown as yet. I'm sure we'll see some of that before this is over.
They're sparring for openings there, aren't they?
Yeah, a bit of mutual respect in there. Nobody really want to take chances. They both have good, quick, sharp jabs. Starie maybe a little bit more prepared to put punches together in the second round here. Wood relying mainly on the jab.
Been very low-key. Asking what they're saying there, thinking it's really, but he's going to give it all in his first offence. A very handy title to have. If it was good enough for Henry Wharton for all those years, it must mean something. Certainly walked on very confidently, I thought, Clinton Woods. Strutted his stuff to some of his hot stuff.
Well, he's very composed. I mean, obviously, as we say, winning the title's given him a lot of confidence, but he's very composed there. Starie's launched some quite decent attacks in the second round here, but he's never really flummoxed them. Just keeping his cool.
Well, there are tactic talks going on there, game plans. That's Gordon Holmes there. And there's Dunstan arriving now, saying which way is the best, the winner's dressing room, I've no doubt. So that's to come, and well, we could do it. He looks relaxed. The man on the gate there wanted to get a smile. Nice and casual looking, but he can't afford that tonight. They're all tough once the first belt goes. And that world title fight there with Terry Dunstan coming up next. So, back in the big hall, the Hull Ice Rink. And you might be able to see some of that mist, as it were, from the ice coming up, pumped in the dry ice stuff. Round 3. Remember, Commonwealth, 12 stones, super middles. It's quite nice too to see people on home soil getting these cracks at the Commonwealth Championship. There's sometimes some imports from various parts that haven't always lived up to their reputation, but we know what these can do.
Starie's moving his chin around a little bit more. Woods just a little bit upright and moving straight back from the punches. Starie just with a slightly more professional approach at this stage. And also he's putting punches out in 2s and 3s.
Certainly is a tall lad though, Woods, Jim, isn't he? 6 foot odd for super middles.
Yeah, I mean, at that height, you can't expect them to be bobbing and weaving, but you have to keep your chin down between your shoulders, so as you move back, you're well protected. If you start with your chin high, you tend to lean back away from punches and run into further trouble. Just wants that chin down a little bit and step back from trouble. But I think Starie has found his rhythm just a little bit sooner. Wood's still trying to find that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a searching start, I must say, by Woods. You're right there. Starie's trying to get on with it. He's got probably a bit more to prove now, hasn't he?
See, Starie's moving around, trying to confuse Woods. He's showing him little feints, trying to draw leads. Woods is a little bit one-paced at the moment.
I would have thought Woods would try the left hand there. He's got that little advantage in reach and just sort of flicking it out, range finding rather than scoring. Well, he can score points even with a flick, I suppose, but it's not a punishing jab.
Starie's just a bit more prepared to take chances here. You know, he's moving in, letting hooks go. He's landed a couple of nice left hooks, right hand. There he goes again, throwing clusters. Really, Woods is going to have to go with him.
Yeah, it's comparatively negative, isn't he, Woods? I must say at this time. Starie sort of fancies the job a bit, doesn't he?
Well, he's looking flashy. His work is far more eye-catching here. As I said, this is going to be a totally different fight from the one he had when he won the title. Starie not quite as easy to catch as Baker was.
I tell you, there's going to be a few harsh words there from Howard Rainey. Maybe a mad Sheffield United supporter as well, that sort of fight trained and reared in London. Well, let's have a look at the replays there. The round sport lady was obscuring my view.
See, Starie's more adventurous, Reg. He's putting bunches together, throwing hooks. Woods is just trying to measure the jab all the time. Now and again trying the odd right hand. He's been beaten to the punch, and Starie looking far busier.
This is later in the round in this replay now.
See, there's the left hook. Willing to take some chances and just look that bit busier all the while.
So in pops the gum shield. The very protection actually that the boxers are allowed to wear above waistline. And of course now they always use in rugby. Well, he's certainly boxing well here, David Starie. He's getting off to a good start. What's your unofficial card coming up, Jim? There it is.
Well, I thought nothing to separate them in the first round, but definitely Starie has nicked out the second couple. And Woods really, he doesn't seem to have found his rhythm or his confidence as yet. He's not going to win this just with the left jab. He's going to have to be a bit more adventurous, a bit more imaginative.
Yeah, he's been very predictable so far, Clinton Woods. I'm just wondering his, you know, sort of stamina thoughts and things, but why should he? When he beat Mark Baker, he stayed the distance all right there. He never looked like flagging, did he?
Well, this is a totally different fight, Reg. It's difficult. Starie is very mobile. He's boxing the perfect fight at the moment, to be quite honest, against a tall opponent with a good jab. He's moving all the while, throwing punches and bursts. This is better from Woods now, coming back into things.
Moving on the sort of clockwise there, Clinton Woods, it might be a bit unwise. I was going to say he'll get clipped with that sort of hooky right hand that Starie can use.
One of Woods' problems, when Starie attacks, he's cupping his hands in front of his face as protection, but that's giving Starie a chance to let several punches go. And these are eye-catching bursts. That's more like he's going to have to stand his ground and trade a bit more. That's better.
That's better. He's opened up there. That's a good effort there by Clinton Woods. Oh, he means business now.
Yep, he's drawn blood from Starie's nose. That's what he has to do, be more positive. His work has not been positive enough up to this point. But certainly in that exchange, he produced a better work.
Well, he's got to sustain that a little bit, though, Jim. seems to take, you know, too long to make up his mind, don't you think, Woods? You know, his posing game now, he's had a good flurry there. I don't mean he's got to be a flailing arm puncher, I mean, but he's just biding his time too much.
He's not as mobile. That was a decent round for Woods. He's not as mobile as Starie. That's his style. He's never going to change drastically, but his work certainly improved there.
So that's the gargle there. So there's another champion coming along here, Mahu Mayfield. I saw him box in Las Vegas last time up, and look the business too. So that's another star for you to hang on for. It's good to see what's happening backstage, isn't it? And they don't say a lot, but sometimes the body language can tell you. So, another look, Jim.
That was probably the toughest round of the four so far. Woods stood his ground a bit more and produced some bursts of punches, and that's really what he's going to have to do. He can't allow Starie to outwork him. Starie, on the other hand, has to get back on his front foot, pushing Woods back.
Round 5. Let's have another look at the scorecard, Jim. There it is, right up.
Yeah, but I think Woods nicked one back. I thought his punching was better quality than Starie. Not a lot of difference in the amount of punches landed, but Woods more solid, better delivered, drawing the blood from his nose and so forth.
He's having quite a quiet night, the referee too, John Keane of Northampton. As I said earlier, he's in sole charge. Should it go the distance with the scoring? Very clean fight indeed, actually. A bit more threatening than producing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think Woods is having a little bit more rhythm in his jab now, so Starie not getting past it quite so easily. He's having to think what he's doing now. Starie not finding the range quite so easily now.
As you say, Jimmy, I know being a tall lad, but he holds his head a bit high, doesn't he, Clinton Woods? As you say, he could do with just tucking it in a little bit, because he's looping punches at him now, Starie, and connecting.
Yeah, I mean, he is very tall. He's never going to be a fighter who can fight from a crouch. All you want is that chin just down a couple of inches. But an excellent defence. A good punch there from Starie. Starie trying to regain the initiative now. Oh, a nice uppercut too.
Well, one thing for certain, it looks as though Starie's broken hand has mended pretty well. And as I said, he's had a victory since he lost that to Dean Francis in the 6th round. And he looks very confident indeed, and certainly getting on with the job.
See, a lot more variety to what Starie's trying to do. Woods just a little bit predictable with a straight left jab all the while. Starie trying things out and putting punches together. Nice little right hand lead. And they're both good boxers, so a lot of punches are not going to land cleanly. They're going to be blocked and slipped. But Starie's nicked himself back into the driving seat in this round, I think. Defence, which is normally very sound, very tight, has let him down a little bit in this round.
So we are in Starie's corner, and we'll catch him at work now. There it is.
Yep, see, once again, Starie's prepared to try things out, coming over with the right hand. Woods too often looking just a little bit too predictable. Just wants to show a little bit more imagination, get some punches going together. Start looking like the boss. Too often Starie is looking like the boss.
And there's the total punch landed in those rounds. On that split screen view there, that's getting the gargle bottle ready. Both very experienced cornermen here. I mean, that's the sort of think tanks that these boys need, because it is that kind of fight, isn't it? They can't float, to use the beaten to death cliche, but throw to the wind at all. They've got to consider what they're doing all the time. Might come a stage later in the fight though when they've got to sort of grip on that gun for a bit and wade in, if it still turns out a bit level.
There's a good left hook again from Starie. See, the flashy punches are coming from Starie. Woods needs really to start coming forward. The trouble is he's just run onto a good left hook there. But really, he can't afford to react to what Starie's doing. He has to lead some moves off himself.
Just a little bit work rate needed now, I think, from Woods. Starie setting the pace, you agree, Jim?
Yeah, all the variety, all the nice looking stuff coming from Starie. He's looking much in a lovely rhythm, much more confident. Woods, I thought he was finding his confidence there. Around about the fourth round, the third and fourth round, but here he goes, he seems to have lost it again. He has to start looking as though he really believes in himself and really set about the job. Too often he's reacting to what Starie's doing.
No, he's just scuffling a bit too much now, Woods, isn't he?
See, I think he likes to counter-punch, Reg. He's probably more of a natural counter-punching. Coming forward, he doesn't feel too comfortable. But Starie's sharper than he is, so he can't really counter-punch. He's going to have to attack, whether he likes it or not. See, he's uncomfortable. He makes a lot of mistakes coming forward. See, look how his defence is scattered then. Launched an attack, missed. And his chin was really there for all to see.
Yeah, they're certainly good punches and eye-catching punches. The back of the arena here can see those coming in from Starie. Well, it's really sort of clobbering, scuffling stuff a bit from Woods, not really noticed. But then, anyway, it's all about the referee who's right on top of him anyway.
Starie's looking good, Reg. He's really boxing well. He's found a nice rhythm, and there's a confidence in his work.
A lot of that good, solid amateur coaching early on. They're the fellas who should get a lot of credit for this, those instructors. He won 54 of 56 amateur contests, and there's the latest punch stacked up to date now in that round. No, there's no real bruises of battle that I can see there in that corner.
See, when they come out of a clinch, Starie's letting punches go. Woods has just been beaten to the punch. He's been out-thought a little bit and out-fought. Really, Woods is the one who needs the improvement at this stage in the fight.
Well, they'll tell you, they bend his ears a bit there, he's training Howard Rainey. He's got to start moving in the 7th round. And remember, it's scheduled for 12. Another look at Jim Watt's scorecard, unofficial of course. But the old lad doesn't often get it wrong anyway, I give him credit for that.
Well, things are swinging Starie's way. The Woods, I'm sure, must have been told in the corner. And you can see already he's trying to raise the pace. He's just not 100% comfortable coming forward. He makes some mistakes as he comes forward.
First time I've seen a little short uppercut there, wasn't it? Well, it's got to be short if it's an uppercut, really.
A good left hook lead from Woods. That's what we need to see, something that he hasn't tried yet.
Yeah, he leapt in with that and it worked.
I mean, Starie's solving out most of what he's done, but this is better. He's trying to get hold of the fight now. He's trying to dictate the pace, dictate the action. Yep, again, good sharp countering from him. This is an improvement. Another good left hook. See, we have criticised Starie in the past for his defence. He's very casual, likes to move around. Good professional style, but sometimes his chin is left unprotected.
He's trying to switch stance a bit there. He's led with his right hand twice there now. Oh, well. Stop them to say quiet in the corner.
Yeah, one of the rules I don't really agree with.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, managers and trainers fall in love with their fighters, Reg. It's difficult to sit there and keep your mouth shut. I don't think it does any harm. Maybe it's the dignity of the game that's offended, I don't know. Well, Starie coming back in the last minute now. Woods has produced some good work. He's going to have to grit his teeth and hang on in there, get this round in the bank.
He's doing just a bit more chasing now too, Woods, isn't he?
There's been a big improvement in Woods' work in this round. He's been prepared to lead off a bit more. See, he's not comfortable coming forward, Reg. He doesn't quite know how to box his way into range. He's just putting his hands in front of his face and marching in. It's worked quite a lot this round, but I don't think it'll work too often. I think Starie will solve that out. See, he just cups his hands in front of his face and marches in. Plenty of heart, but a bit more technique would certainly serve him well.
So they are getting warm up now. There's Dunstan again. They'll clip in the dressing room. This is the worrying, wondering stage for every boxer. Bob and weave. I wonder what Mayfield's doing, the other thing. Can we get over there? Yeah, we can. That's good. He's just getting his picture taken, isn't he? He likes it. That's it. Nice and relaxed. He's a very decent fighter. Oh dear, there you are. All the worries. He's already gloved up as well. A lot of boxers do it. Did you ever do that, Jim? Have a little kip before you went on?
No, I worried more about having a kip while it was going on, Reg. No, that never happened.
So I think they were a bit pleased in that corner for a change, although he got warned for calling out there. I wasn't sure which of the two trainers it was.
Well, I think they realised that Woods needed a little bit of encouragement, Reg. He needs to raise the pace, he needs shouted at. So they did it during the round.
Well, whatever it is, it worked, Jim, didn't it?
Well, Woods trying to have the centre of the ring now.
One of the other Belgians really, with this sort of second half of the fight, has got to try and just get that touch of power going with the odd punches, haven't they? I mean, obviously they're not slapping at each other by any means. But one of them's got to stamp that authority just that bit more with a stunning punch or two.
I think the fact that they're both good boxers, Reg, they're not getting a chance to wind the punches up. You just got to hope, let the punches come naturally, and the power is there. But then either man, remember, really carries what you would say dynamite in their fists. Good solid punches, but not really one knockout puncher. Well, a lot more commitment coming from Woods now.
Still switches stance a bit there, Starie, when he's doing his sort of walk-around act. A little bit of hit and run there. He's doing it well too, Starie. It suits him when Wood comes in.
Well, Woods is trying to bully him a bit now, and that's a good idea.
Drawing into a fight, don't you think?
Yeah, well, Starie had a nice rhythm in the first half of the fight, so Woods is trying to bully him out of that. And it's not a bad plan. Just put everything he's got into it now.
bit more solid looking shot right above us there, Clinton Woodstock, as he laid in there. He got his body weight behind that one. I remember seeing him Starie before, particularly as an habit of switching around like that and doing this sort of lead with a southpaw stance for a while and then going back again. It might confuse him as much as the opponent.
I think Woods is doing well here, because you can see he doesn't really like this all-out attacking stuff. He's not really mastered the plan of that. So he's just getting the hands up tight and just walking straight through Starie. But this has been a tough round for both guys. Starie again just showing that a little bit more imagination.
Who's joined us late, Clinton Woods, the Commonwealth champion in his first defence. Here he is, from Sheffield, which of course has become much, boxing circles would be called the fight town these days. Somebody there's quite big. What's his name again? I know, Nazim Hamid. So this is a replay, Jim, of Starie at work a bit more there as he's being backed off.
Yeah, he's the one that's showing, as I say, a little bit more imagination. But for commitment now, you can't fault Woods. Woods knew he had to come up with something better, and he's certainly done that over the last couple of rounds. That was a tough round. I couldn't separate them in that round. And see, again, Starie too often has the last word in the exchanges. Woods seems to just lose rhythm.
Actually, confident chat there in the corner again, isn't it? With the old hand. Gordon Holmes. 9th round coming up then of this 12 rounds Commonwealth silver middleweight title. So what's going on? What's occurring? That's what's occurring. Jim, what's got?
Well, I still have Starie a couple of rounds in front.
Yeah, it's closed up a bit though, isn't it?
There's certainly a big improvement in Woods' work over the last couple of rounds, and that really, I felt he needed that.
Oh, he wants him to come at him now. It's a bit too obvious, isn't it? That, you know, this could be a bit of a stalemate if Starie decides to stay where he is.
Well, I think Woods naturally is much happier counter-punching. I mean, he throws nice sharp punches, good defence. He just doesn't really like coming forward. But this didn't work earlier on in the fight. He wasn't sharp enough to counter-punch Starie. And really, he's falling back into that mode again.
It's as though he's welcoming him to come in and wants to throw a counter, but he hasn't done so yet, Jim.
Yeah, but he's not getting himself into the proper position.
No,
I mean, you've got to give yourself some room.
Exactly, you've got to get a bit of daylight between them, haven't you, really?
Yeah, spread your legs, give yourself room to come back and back in again with counters. But he's really standing right in front of Starie, offering target, and he's not really ready to come back with counters. I don't know what's happened with Woods here. It's like a loss of concentration.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Something's happened. He's throwing this away if he is. I mean, it can't be too much kidology because it's not gaining anything from it.
There's a sign of a lack of interest in this round from Woods. I don't know. He'd bucked himself up. Maybe he's used up too much steam over the last couple of rounds. He's feeling the pace. But there's something has disappeared from Woods in this round, and I don't quite know what it is. The desire has left him. I hope he can find it again.
He definitely looks like he's struggling, doesn't he? At first I thought it was just a little bit of not a play act, but, you know, it's a routine that he was going to draw the man on and throw punches.
He must know he can't afford to give away any more rounds here. He must know that his corner have been screaming at him in between rounds to raise the pace. Maybe the fact he's been going forward and it's not comfortable, he's used up a bit of steam. He's getting a little bit better looking now, but for the first couple of minutes in this 9th round, he just seemed to lose interest. He's really given Starie a round. He's just giving it to him on a plate.
Absolutely.
Nothing offensive comes from him this round whatsoever. He's just landed the best left hook of the fight so far. Didn't trouble Starie too much, but he's left it far too late. What is the point in this?
Well, I'll tell you what, they must be a little bit angry in the corner, and he's shaking his head, Jim. There is definitely some concern here. He's running out of gas. And Howard Rainey, the trainer's saying, what is it here, Jim? This fella's definitely, you know, in trouble, isn't he?
Well,
he's been drained of stamina, I should think.
It's desire that seemed to leave him, Reg. I mean, he wasn't in any serious trouble. It's not as though he get rocked with a big punch at the start of the round. He just didn't seem to be there. He looks very despondent in the corner now.
Let's have another look at this while they're trying to, you know, pump something into him in the corner there. He keeps dropping his head in despair almost. Are we reading this right? I think we are.
See, no interest, just that I kind of went through the motions in that round. He didn't really try to get himself into the fight until the last few seconds.
This is right at the end of the round, this one.
And he just really allowed Starie to tee off on him for most of that round.
10th round. And just an amazing Clinton Woods there, defending his championship for the first time. That he won against Mark Baker, previously held by Henry Wharton. And, well, I don't know whether he's going to react now to the corner, giving a bit of GBH of the ears.
Well, sometimes a fighter feels they can afford to coast for a round and take a rest and come back, but I don't think that's the case here. I mean, Woods hasn't really had enough success to think like that, and that's not normally the way they go about it. They spend the whole round in punching range and don't throw anything back. Although Reggie's got himself right back into things again now. He's got his interest back, thankfully.
Well, I hope so for his sake, and the entertainment of a championship fight, Commonwealth title.
I mean, there's no question in Woods' desire. I mean, look at the fight he had with Baker to win the title. He showed everything. Courage, commitment, stamina, the whole thing. So there's nothing wrong with his heart. He just seemed to lose interest, but thankfully he has it back again.
I suspect a bit of frustration, Jim, too, don't you, that he couldn't handle Starie as he thought he might.
Yes, that's not how you should react.
No, of course not.
Whatever it was, I don't condone it.
And neither will he when the decision goes against him. He's not attempting to throw anything inside there, Collins. He's just waiting for the referee to call break. In fact, Starie stepped back without being ordered. It's like boxing by numbers kind of thing, isn't it, Jim?
Well, Starie really has been circling. He's actually been coasting quite a bit in this round. Not too many clean shots landed in this round. I mean, these are kind of cuffing punches, not really on target. At least Woods has his work rate back up again, and he's pressed for most of this round. But again, Reg, he's not comfortable going forward.
No, he's getting clipped round the face all the time, isn't he?
He's putting his heart and soul into it now, but the technique of going forward, I'm afraid, is letting him down.
The referee saying Starie don't lean on, but there's not much he can do while Woods is covering up the whole time like that, not swapping punches with him.
They're both beginning to tire that little bit now, Reg.
Well, he's pleased with that, isn't he, the manager? He knows. There's the rundown on the stats again. Well, quite convincing, really. Punches landed there by Starie, but remember, the referee is not looking at those amounts of figures. He's judging from the overall effect of the round. Well, you wonder how he can... Some boxers like the seconds to stand back a little bit in a bit of air, but it looks like he's sitting there at the office, doesn't it, in Suffolk? Even in his amateur days, he fought the top class. I mean, British middleweight champion Glenn Catley, Starie defeated him, and Dean Francis then, but lost to him as a pro.
Well, looking at the two faces, Reg, Starie has the happy smile on the face. Wood still has that kind of despondent look.
Yeah, 11th round. just didn't take a rest in that round, Jim. Then it was almost he went on his holidays. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He definitely lost interest, Reg, and it hasn't helped his cause any. He's got it back again, but again, Starie, he's just that little bit cute all the way around for Woods. As I said right in the first round, this is a totally different fight than the night he won the title, and he was going to have a lot more problems, and that's what's happened. And full credit to Starie, he really has produced some beautiful boxing tonight.
Neither of them could produce the payoff type of punch, and yet, you know, they've had their share of success. The 19 wins, he's unbeaten, Clinton Woods. He's had 9 inside the distance. 1 loss in 16 by Starie. He's had 11 inside the distance.
Good right hand from Starie.
He picked him as he wanted there. That was a good shot.
Yep, 2 good shots from the top.
And again.
Again, the more imagination coming from Starie. He's prepared to throw hooks and uppercuts, put punches together. Really, in my book, Reg, that's always kept him that little bit in front of Woods. Woods beginning to sag a little bit again. Another good right hand. I mean, it's maybe good news for Woods that Starie is not really a big puncher, because he has caught him cleanly with that right hand so often.
There's not enough variety in this work that Woods of punches. They're all pretty predictable.
Yeah, Starie just the wrong type of opponent. If Starie was a straightforward slugger coming forward, Woods would look wonderful tonight. But that's not the case. And for me, he's always been that little step behind.
Certainly looks like he's breathing heavily, Clinton Woods, doesn't it, Jim? His mouth open.
Well, apart from that one round, Reg, he's given it all he's got. It's just he's having to fight a fight he's not comfortable with. He tried to counter punch in the early rounds, it wasn't working, so he had to start trying to attack, and he doesn't like doing that.
Well, they give the final tune-up for the final round now, and we're like, well, I think Starie's well ahead, actually. Behave yourself, get out there and really make sure there's no trouble in the last round. Keep throwing your punches, don't back off. That's the kind of talk I imagine Gordon Holmes is getting to his man with the final rundown of the punch stack figures. See the mobile stuff from Starie just clipping. That punch has been very effective, actually. It may not have been seen from anything past the 10th row here.
He's prepared to raise the pace and sustain it, Reg, and Woods has never been able to do that.
No.
Woods has been able to go off some decent punches, but never sustain an attack like that.
So there you are, the formal touch of gloves. And, Jim, let's see how you've got it coming out for the last. Well, he's got more than a lot to do, isn't he, Woods, according to that one anyway. We just wonder what the margin will be by referee John Keane. Yeah, that's what they've told Starie in the corner. Stay on the move, just pick the punches, don't get too involved.
It hasn't been a bad fight, Reg. I mean, the referee hasn't had too much to do. Plenty of action, plenty of punching. No real drama because neither guy carries that real powerful punch. But it's been a decent hour's entertainment, has it not?
Yeah, I'm just disappointed a bit with Clinton Woods. As I say, I haven't seen much of him, so I don't want to give an opinion at the start anyway.
I think it's a different opponents, different fights.
Yeah,
Woods, I mean, he's unbeaten, Reg. He's done everything asked of him. It's just that Starie is the worst kind of opponent for him. Starie just that little bit too sharp, too mobile. And really, to be honest, a little bit too good tonight all the way around. We'll certainly on that card.
All sorts of possibilities too if Starie wins this. As I said, the super middleweight division is buzzing now, and there's money at the top.
I mean, Starie looks like a man who feels he has it in the bag, doesn't he? Just coasting in the last round.
Putting on a show now, isn't he? He's been putting on a bit of a show all the way through, but more so now. Look at this feat. Not exactly the alley shuffle, but, well, the Suffolk waltz, I suppose, that.
Well, two guys in real good shape there, because it's been a fair old pace. The action has never sagged all the way through, and they're still up on their toes.
Yeah, Suffolk soft shoe shuffle is giving it in the last round, isn't he now, Starie? Trying to sell himself to the public is not a bad idea. Fight game these days seem to hinge on the crossover to get into the celebrity side of the business as well.
Woods, I don't think they just didn't have the tools for the job tonight, I'm afraid.
We'll get an immediate decision here. Clinton Woods actually walked over. That was hopeful, wasn't it? See, the referee knows exactly where he stands at the end of the 11th round. With the points of full-point advantages now, not the decimal points we used to have in British and Commonwealth boxing. But for me, there was never any doubt, and I'm sure there wasn't with you, Jim, either.
No, right from the off.
Good workmanlike performance, really, by David Starie.
Yeah, he always had a better idea of the game. He was more adventurous, put punches together, he was flashier. And whatever Woods come back with, he always did something just a little bit better. Well, a fairly conclusive victory in my book. Yeah,
the 537 against 445 of the punches thrown. We don't register the pain.
And I think after two-thirds of the fight, the look on Woods' face and the look on Starie's face, you could tell which one was enjoying himself in there, and I'm afraid it wasn't Mr. Woods.
Well, that's it. While they're posing for the photographs, we'll wait for the decision, and here it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, the referee scorecard: for Woods, 113 points. For Starie, 117 points. So the new Commonwealth Super Middleweight Champion, David Starie. And please show your appreciation for a very, very game boxer indeed, Clinton Woods. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the championship bout, we call upon
David Starie on the way back then. Barry McGuigan, your overall reaction to what you've seen from Starie tonight?
This was a great grown-up fight for David Starie. He had to come back after the crushing defeat against Dean Francis. He done that, he showed maturity, he got his hands up when he was in punching range, and he's just developed and grown in stature as far as I'm concerned as a fighter.
Thank you. We have the new WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Richie Woodall, with us tonight. Richie, your thoughts?
Yeah, good performance. I thought he had just too much variation for Woods tonight. Woods went through too many long periods where he lacked a bit of urgency, but he was outgunned and he was coming at him at different angles and he just couldn't cope with it.
Thank you. It's been a very difficult year or so for David Starie, but this may boost him. Still young, only 23. Let's see how he's reacting now. He's talking to Adam Smith.
David Starie, the former British champion, now Commonwealth one. How much did you feel you proved tonight?
I feel I proved it to a lot of people. A lot of people said that I have to box my hands down. And I proved people tonight that I can box my hands up, I can bob and weave, I can duck and dive if I have to, and also I can dig it in when it gets rough. And I dug it in tonight, and I'm confident that I won the later rounds as well as the early rounds. And Clinton Woods is a great fighter, and he did really well.
A tall, awkward opponent. How do you come to terms with his style?
Well, you know, I mean, he's a tall fighter. He's proved himself in the professional ranks. He's 19-0. He can handle the pressure, and I'm really pleased to beat him. He's a good fighter. I sparred with him for the Dean Francis title fight, and it was a great help to me then, and I'm really pleased with this win.
After the terrible loss of Dean Francis, did you think this was win or bust?
I pretty much thought so, but then again, you know, I'm only 23. People forget that, you know, they see these new fighters come along, oh, you know, he's only 23, and they forget that I'm a champion and I'm 23 years old. So I've got plenty of time, and I'm going to sit back and have a rest now with my beautiful wife Louise, and just enjoy having time with my little princess Katie, and I'm just going to relax and enjoy myself.
Well done tonight, David Starie, the new Commonwealth champion.
Cheers.